Welcome back to Basketball. If you're listening to us on Spotify, give us a follow and a 5-star review and share it on your socials. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and like our videos as well. Taona, how you going, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing, Chappy?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Just figured we'd do the speak of the club that shall not be named, and do a quick catch up on Manchester United and the signings that are afoot out there.
yeah. United finally signed someone.
Mm-hmm.
It's big. Can't say that we've been waiting for it. I mean, as rival fans, it's one of those like, eh. But it's
I
interesting they
know.
signed someone, and it's interesting who they got over the line. Yeah,
That's exactly right. It's not exactly who I was thinking about. So,
exactly.
yep. So, just quickly, United have managed to get a Mr. Tyrone Malacia signed recently, over the last day, I believe it was. Um, so, just having a look at it,
Yeah.
Malacia was very excited to be signing for Manchester United. Um, he's a Dutch player, and
Yep.
yeah, Eric Ten Hag's probably the biggest Dutch name up there when it comes to coaching.
Exactly.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, 100%. Um, so just having a quick look at him. To be fair, I don't watch a lot of the Eredivisie, but his stats last year were actually pretty impressive. 32.
Apparently, yeah.
32. No, no, no. You don't throw shade all the time. You have to give their flowers when they're due. So just had a quick look. And
Yeah.
last year, 32 appearances, 1 goal and four
Yep.
assists in the Eredivisie. Um,
It's not bad. It's actually not
no, it's
bad.
not bad.
Yeah.
For a left back,
Mm.
it's actually pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Um, so just having a quick look, Ten Hag's actually said that he's a player that he's actually been tracking for a while he was coaching at Ajax, and he's excited to get him through the door. He's saying he's got a play. He's a player who's got a fair bit of pace about him. A
Got you.
lot of positional. Yep, he's saying he's positionally aware, and he has a very high interception rate, which, as you would know, is pretty. It's a big deal when you play possession-based football and you're trying to press higher up the pitch. Having guys who
Yeah.
are athletically gifted, and yeah, if he is positionally aware, that'd be a big upgrade for him, I think. Especially when you look at Tellers, who didn't pull up very many trees over the last few years he's been at United.
Yeah, it's absolutely a good signing, but I don't take anything that Ten Hag is going to say about it as gospel because I feel like that's a guy. He's not under fire, but he's there to try appease the fans because right now they haven't signed anyone and their fans are panicking. Not that I'm saying that signing a player is what makes your season, but um, United fans are like really agitated. And to be honest, their team it needs a lot of structure, right? And getting this guy in,
Mm-hmm.
from what I'm seeing, he might not be a Luke Shaw replacement. He might be just a Luke Shaw continuation, judging by Luke Shaw's injury record. So yeah, it's a good signing, but it's to be seen, unproven in the Premier League. So yeah, we move. We
Look,
move.
I do agree with your sentiment there.
Yeah,
I think Luke Shaw, when he was at Southampton, he was an exciting prospect back then.
absolutely, man.
100%. He just has not been
Yeah,
able to keep himself fit, unfortunately.
exactly. Yeah.
But if if Ten Hag is happy enough with this lad, I think we all need to give him a chance. And as you said, they do need the cover due to Luke's injury record. And
Yep.
Ten said, I don't think Tellers is an awful player. I just don't
No,
think
he's not.
he's not a United player. I guess that's the best way to put it. So just having a quick look. Ten Hag is known for his attacking philosophy. That's what he had. The quick,
Yep.
slick passing and from the things that I've seen and the couple of games that I've watched, like Malacia actually
Yeah.
does fit the bill. Going forward, he's according to Sky Sports, actually, they actually reckon that he completed more shots and take-ons than any defender in the Dutch league last season.
Wow.
They're saying that he's comfortable on the ball, and only Dali Blind touched the ball more times and completed more passes in the final third than him. And I remember that like Blind was actually he was a pretty darn good player at United. Once again, injuries got the hold of him, and he went backward. But he's gone back to Holland, and he's been pretty darn good over there again. Just having a quick look at that little. Oh Jesus! Just having a look at the quick chart that I've just popped up on the screen there. He ranks pretty highly across the board. Um, if you have a look, he's
Yeah.
in the top percentile in the
That's
final third passes.
Yep, that's a good chart. I mean,
Yeah, it's brilliant.
the
Um,
numbers are good. Yeah.
they look the numbers look really good, and as I said, the lads, he's young. He's a young lad. He's only 22, turning 23, I
Absolutely.
believe, soon. So
Yeah.
I think if I was a United fan, I'd be really excited with this. It's a look to the future. Not necessarily a
Absolutely.
player that I don't think it's a player who would come in right away expecting to start. And I think with Luke, they'll be able to interchange and rotate pretty well there for the first time in a long time.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I concur. I definitely agree. The numbers do they do stand out. It'll be just interesting to see how he does in his first season in with the big boys, because the big boys are not going to give him any space. You know how the Premier League
Yeah,
is
that's
run.
right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
exactly right.
So it'll be interesting to see if he can push those same numbers in the Premier League. And yeah, good signing, good
Hey,
signing. And
very
the fact
exciting.
that you say that it's not a Man United signing, kind of would say, aren't they moving in the right direction with that?
I think they are. I think it's a big
Yeah, they
positive
are,
for them.
right? Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of chasing that big name player and
Marquee,
trying to get,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a
Yeah.
brilliant signing. And I believe it's fairly cheap as well, but 14, 15
Absolutely.
million pounds.
Absolutely.
It's good for them. I think it's a step in the right direction, as much as it pains me to say that. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, honestly, I'm actually quite excited by this guy. Um, yeah, it's weird saying that, isn't it? But yeah, um, I suppose,
let's see what he does. Yeah. Let's see what he
uh,
does.
as I said, I'm excited by it. The other big news coming out of Old Trafford, I believe, you mentioned to me the other day that Christian Eriksen's verbally agreed to join.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting because people thought that he would move to Spurs or stay at Brentford, but seems like he's going the Ten Hag direction. Um,
Hmm.
my take on that is, look, it's a good signing. It's like what you said before. It's not a Man United signing. It's a signing for football technicality. You know what I mean? Like you're getting in
Yeah, totally.
someone in there who's there just to work, not for the glitz and glamour and selling shirts. So I like the
Oh,
signing.
mhm.
I like the
I do.
signing up until it goes wrong. But I think it's a good
Don't you
signing.
mean up until it goes right?
Yes, exactly. Actually, I take that back. Up until it goes right. Yeah.
Well, all
So
jokes aside, though, Christian Eriksen, um, before his unfortunate heart attack while playing,
yeah,
um, he was an absolutely quality player.
absolutely.
He was mind-blowingly good. Actually, one of my favorite players back in the day before he moved overseas. And
Yeah.
I was concerned about whether or not he actually had got over that heart attack and stuff like that. But as he said, when he was at Brentford last season, he was amazing.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
absolutely pulled him up by the bootstraps, and
Yeah.
they played some really good football through him. So once again,
Yeah,
this is another exciting signing. I'd be really excited by this one if I was a United fan. Um,
absolutely.
I do have a couple of reservations about it. Um, I know we've discussed it before that he's not the most physically imposing player, but he's technically
Yeah,
gifted.
he
Um,
is. Yeah.
yeah, the only thing for me is where would you actually end up playing him?
That's interesting because technically I actually don't know what type of style Ten Hag is gonna put at Man United, but with his history being apparently people throwing out that he's a student of Pep, meaning that he's gonna play possession style football, meaning that the more the midfielders that he has, the more the team is going to shape up in the direction that he wants it to. So yeah, I think maybe if I have to just throw an arrow at anything, I'd say probably in the eight, maybe.
Mhm.
Depending on depending on how the De Jong signing goes. Yeah.
That'll be an interesting one. That one. I'm not 100% sure as to where I actually think because, as I said, if depending on the formation you actually play, I'm not sure. I'd be tempted to have him as one of my deep lying midfielders, I suppose. So, I suppose more of
Okay.
a, I suppose not really box to box like an eight, but not really a six either. But yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
tempted.
exactly.
Yeah, I'd
Exactly.
be tempted to have him as that hybrid type of midfielder. And
True,
as I
true,
said, he's not the most physically imposing, but I think
true.
that's where United are lucky enough to have a McTominay in there who would add that physicality and size into that midfield.
Yeah,
So there's
absolutely.
potential for it to work very well. If he decides to go 4-2-3-1, and you've got the option of paying him in that withdrawn role higher up the pitch as well. So he's a very
Absolutely.
yeah, he's a special player. Um, as
He
I said,
is.
just a shame about that heart attack that he had, but he is a brilliant little player. Um, what do you
Would you
think? Do you
take him
reckon
to
the
Liverpool?
we oh geez, that's a very good question. I wouldn't mind having him coming on in replace of Thiago at times because I think he can
Got
offer
it.
that vision and creativity in the middle as well.
Got
Um,
it.
he can carry the ball. He's hard to dispossess as well, despite everything that I've said about the lack of physicality. He's a really good player. I it's hard to tell. Like I like the more athletic players, but then we got Thiago in, and he's changed my opinion of that as well now. Um,
Got it.
yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Do you think there might be a conflict in positional conflict with Bruno at all?
That is exactly what I was thinking when you're breaking down the transformation, the formation, the eight, the hybrid. Because I'm thinking, where does Bruno play in that?
Hmm,
Does this mean Bruno will have to move into a 10? I don't know.
potentially.
It's it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what Ten Hag does. But if he's anything like Pep, then it would make sense. It would make
Hmm,
sense having Bruno in that position because at the end of the day, everyone is just going to be attacking.
that's
That's
right.
how the
That's
Pep
right.
team looks like. Yeah, everyone's going
Well, I
to be
suppose the
attacking.
one
So
option that there's another option actually I hadn't thought about with
yeah,
Ronaldo asking to leave.
yeah.
There is the potential of playing Bruno as your false nine,
Mm,
and kind of have him in kind of that Firmino type role, and have Bruno in there. That would probably work very well. Bruno's a gifted player as well.
absolutely. That's a very interesting shout. Very very interesting shout. I don't know. Do United have the acumen to play with the false nine? That's the question. Because
Well,
I
I
mean,
think
with
that's
Ten
where,
Hag, maybe yeah,
yeah, I think maybe everyone says that Ten Hag's a really good coach.
yeah,
Ajax played some brilliant stuff in the Champions League. We all know that. And
Absolutely.
let's be honest and let's be real. United actually do have really good players as well. Still, we all
They
laugh at them
do.
and say that they're useless, but they have quality players. Still,
They do.
um,
They do.
they
Yeah.
do.
They
So
absolutely do.
it'll be interesting, especially if they manage to get Frankie De Jong over the line. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's another. Well, you see, he's another deep lying playmaker type player. So it'll be
Exactly. Yeah.
interesting if they do manage to get him over the line. I suppose that's a really good way to quickly segue into Frankie
The
talk,
Young
isn't
saga. When is this
What
gonna
does
end, bro?
I have absolutely no idea. It was interesting seeing Laporta come out with his message the other day.
Yeah.
Um, so Laporta's come out and he's pretty much saying Frankie De Jong's our player. We don't want to
Oh,
sell him unless we
jeez.
don't have any other choice. Of course, we know that the offer's for De Jong, but we don't want to sell him. I don't know what's going on here. To me, it almost feels as if they're trying to place the blame at Frankie's feet if he does leave. Like the lads already come out and said, "I don't want to go."
Yeah. Yeah.
The noise hasn't died down, and Fabrizio Romano, as I said, he's had some absolute doozies of late when it comes to posts about Man United, and he's talking. Yeah, you know it just as well as I do that the
It's true. Yeah.
conversations, yeah, the conversations he's having is that the deal's pretty much been agreed upon,
Done.
just that
Exactly. Yeah.
personal terms haven't been agreed. So I'm a bit confused as to what's going on there. So as I said the other day, a couple of days ago now, actually, Fabrizio's come out and said the structure that has been discussed and everything else, but they're literally haggling over the 20 million euros worth of add-ons to the deal. So it completely contradicts what Laporte is saying. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't trust Laporta. I think he's trying to appease the ultras and not get on the bad side of them. But what are your thoughts on all this?
Look, Laporte is an absolute politician. Like he'll say anything that appeases the people, and in the back he'll do other things. Like for
Yep.
me, I don't listen to anything that guy say until I start to see things being done. That's when I'll say, "Oh, okay, he was telling the truth on that, or he was actually lying on it." So the De Jong saga, I'm actually pretty. That's a very interesting take that you took. That they actually want to push him out, right? Um, because to be honest, they do need the money. Like,
That's
yeah,
exactly
they
right.
they
Yep.
they they need the player to go, and I think maybe he's trying to cover his back so that he doesn't look like the bad guy when
Hmm.
De Jong leaves. And yeah, it's actually mad interesting. It's funny. Sorry, I'm just taking a detail on this. Bayern Munich came out and said. Hey, for Lewandowski, we want all our money up front because we don't know if you guys will be in business in the next 2 years. That's hilarious, man.
That is
What are
unheard
we
of, isn't it?
doing here? Exactly.
Hmm.
What are we doing here, man? Like it's crazy what's happening at Barcelona, and I don't know why this transfer saga keeps on pushing and pulling. You know what I mean? Like, just sign the player, get the player signed. You know what I mean? What are we waiting for?
I, I,
Yeah,
I,
but
I, I think with that 20 million, I think they're just trying to structure it to get the money in the door faster. Um,
yeah,
as you said,
absolutely,
they need it. They need it. They
they
need the
do.
money,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
it's
I
unfortunate.
mean,
Like Barcelona,
yeah.
Barcelona was from back in the days one of my favorite teams to watch, especially when we went playing in the Champions League. I loved watching Barcelona. Loved watching
Very
Ronaldinho
good.
carve it up, and
Yep,
it's unfortunate that that's where they're at now, haggling like that, especially for a player who they've decided they don't want there anymore. Um,
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's actually pretty interesting how like the grades have fallen, because I remember back in the day where Klopp took the Liverpool squad to watch a Barcelona game. And most of the reporters around were saying he was there just showing them that, like, this is the type of football we need to, like, emulate. You know what I mean? This is the type of football we
Mm,
need to present. So it's so sad to see how far they've fallen, man. Like, yeah, it's
it is,
man.
but you know it yourself. Like they could play high intensity. They could play high
Yeah,
intensity. They could hold the
yeah,
ball. They
exactly.
they they were an amazing, amazing team.
They
Um,
were.
it's just a shame. Like they got that money in for Neymar, and it's just gone sideways
you
since
know,
then.
we partly the reason for their demise with that Coutinho payout.
Oh, that I don't know what happened to
A
Phil
chunk
Coutinho. Like
of that Neymar money came to us.
it did, it did. Like between
Oh
us
man,
and Usman Dembele,
absolutely,
they
man.
didn't. I think they ended up paying more than what they got in, didn't they?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. Um,
And the Griezmann deal,
oh yeah,
like
yeah,
that
yeah. The
made
next, the
no
following
sense at
season as
all.
well,
Exactly,
and then
dude.
they didn't
Like
they loan him
what?
back the next year. It was just the
Yeah, yeah.
strangest, strangest, strangest thing. But that's
And
what
the
happens
mad
when
salaries that they were on. Yeah. Oh,
oh yeah,
jeez.
and that's what happens. I wonder if Frankie is actually owed money as well by Barcelona from his wages, and if that's actually holding up this transfer as well.
I think so. I think I definitely would say that because I saw, I don't know if the source was right, but I saw quite a number of players, and the guy mentioned that I just mentioned three players. Who knows what the
Hmm.
story is with all the other ones? I think that's
Yep.
partly the reason that, like, these people are not getting their money. And it's so weird that, like, someone after watching all this would say, yeah, let me sign for Barcelona. Like, case in point, Rafinha. Like, oh, it's my dream move. Maybe you need a new dream, bro. You know what I mean? Because Barcelona ain't
Oh,
it. They are super broke.
they are broke, but I think it's a case of getting the right profile of player in. If they
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
guys who aren't expecting that 150,000 pounds
Yeah,
a week kind
exactly.
of wage, they could. I don't think
Exactly.
Rafinha's in a position where he can demand that type of remuneration as of yet. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
he is the
yeah.
profile they need to look at as opposed to looking at your De Jongs. And you get Frankie off the books,
Yeah,
get
that's
that,
a
what,
big wage
100
off.
to,
Yeah,
yeah, that's a massive wage.
yeah.
And you could probably pay two
Mm.
guys worth of that. Um, yeah, but as I said, um, we've deviated a little bit from our United chat. But yeah, as I said, I'm fairly interested with the business that United are doing at the moment. Um, for the first time in a long time, it kind of looks as though they have a plan and they haven't just rushed into the market and just spunked a lot of cash out there to prove a point that they have
Absolutely.
good spending money, spending power.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting season this year. For once, so the first time in a while, they've got a good coach in.
Yep.
It looks as though he knows what he wants to do. He's not
Yep.
going to have
Yep.
that the elephant in the room being Ronaldo there potentially anymore. Um, you know the way like Solskjaer and
Yep.
everyone else felt as though they had to play Ronaldo when they didn't want to play him.
Exactly.
Sometimes, well, speculation in the press says that they may not have wanted to play him, but felt as though they were
Yeah.
pressured to play him. So you get that off the books, and yeah, you now have a bunch of younger guys who actually want to run for that badge and physically can run and press, and it's going to be an interesting season. I
It's a
honestly
good
think
move.
I think they're probably a shoe in to finish fourth this year.
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
personally, I think between them and Chelsea, Spurs, I think are probably going to be running third. I would say, just based on continue and just the manager that they have there. Um, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think United can finish in the top four this year.
Wait, I don't know if I would put them as top four contenders as yet, because remember they still have Europa games, and Europa games are just such a nightmare when it comes to traveling. It might take a toll on the team, especially if they need to look for a first 11, and then after the first 11, they need to look for the backup team behind that. And so
Hmm. It's
maybe I
interesting
wouldn't.
because
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's interesting. Like at the moment, there's reports of them chasing Martinez, um, the central
Yeah,
defender,
good player, good
and
player,
yeah, boy can pass the
good
ball.
player.
He's able to spray the ball around. That'll improve them tenfold. Imagine him next to Maguire as opposed to Lindelof. Um, that improves them. They've got the left back sorted. They've got two good left backs. Right back might be a little bit dodgy at the moment, but I think from a squad perspective, we're talking about a team that finished second 2 seasons ago. Um, they haven't, in my opinion, really gone backward from that point. Mason
True,
Greenwood's like most likely to come back into the mix as well. So
true.
that's that little
Yeah,
bit
that's
more
true.
depth up top. Um, they've lost a couple of players, but really old people who weren't really contributing much anymore. So,
That's true.
yeah, as I said, they finished second a couple of years ago. They had a down year last year, but they were trending
Uh
upward.
Sorry, man. I don't mean to cut you off, but that second that they finished, that was meant to be our second. Remember, that was the same season when we had our injury issues.
Yeah,
So
Van
let's
Dijk was
let's
injured.
hypothetically
Yeah.
say, yeah, exactly. Let's hypothetically say they finished third. I'm being sour. Sorry, continue.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. Okay. So I'll
Yeah,
run. I'll run with that. But
yeah,
what I was getting at is that there had been progress being made under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
So we can all like. It's funny as a rival fan that we can pick on him and say this and say that, but at the end of the day, they were making progress. They did move forward, and
yeah,
they did improve a lot as a team. I think all his message stopped filtering through to the players a little bit. And as I said, putting Ronaldo in the mix seemed to, I don't know, like Fernandez had a really ordinary year last year.
yeah,
So I don't know, maybe just the specter of having Ronaldo, they just put a few guys offside. Um, as I said in the other pod we had the other day, to me, that just shows a lack of mental strength within the ranks. But
yeah.
yeah, they were better. That being said, Ronaldo scored what 24 goals for him last season. But yeah, I don't know. I think they were trending in the right direction. They now have a manager who they wanted in place,
Yeah,
and yeah, the players are going to have to toe the line.
absolutely, absolutely, man. And do you want to touch on the Ronaldo saga?
Ooh, the last I heard is that Ronaldo hadn't gone into training. So that was Monday or Tuesday that he was due in for first team
Yeah,
training, and he actually didn't rock up at all. They did say that it was for family reasons, and unfortunately, as we all know, his wife did lose a baby.
yeah,
So
yeah. Sad.
I can understand that.
Mm.
It was hard. He came back and played towards the tail end of the season, and he tried to drag United into the top four race. But it does take its toll, and maybe having that little bit of time off together, and yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard. It's hard. Um, that being said, just having a quick look now, and word on the street is that United are completely lost as to where Ronaldo is and what's going on, which is a shame. Um, so I'll just quickly bring up this tweet. So Fabrizio is actually saying in his daily briefings that United in the darkest where Ronaldo is, which is not very good at all for seeing as they're supposed to be going on tour soon. They're supposed to be going to tour to Asia at the moment. So as we all know, Ronaldo's a major draw card over there. So they will want him
Yeah,
to go on tour. And if he's not pitching up for preseason training, that's going to be hard to justify the amount that they're being paid to go on tour. So they need him. I think even if he doesn't leave, having him in that team will help him as well. He does score goals, and
Yeah.
everyone says he doesn't track back. I saw that many games where he was tracking back last season anyway. Um, it's it's shocking. I find it absolutely shocking that a narrative's made that he doesn't press, he doesn't do this. But I seen him tracking back last season. I saw him making tackles in his own half, trying to drive that team forward. He's not an idiot. He knows what's required of him. He's one of the greatest players ever to play this game. Um, yeah, I'll see. Have you heard anything new at all, other than him not pitching up to training? Or
So I have maybe a contrary look at it from your point of view, and I like that you have a positive view on it. And from my
oh, it's
side, I feel
negative.
like
It's a negative view. Let's be honest.
not at all.
It's gut wrenching. No, I mean
No,
from Ronaldo's
yeah,
perspective, like it's if what I'm saying is how it is, it's not a
yeah,
good situation at all. You know?
yeah. But there's also the from my perspective, from what I'm seeing is that this is how I'm seeing it. This guy, can we all agree that Ronaldo is it's all about self person because that he's a winner, so he looks out for him before any other team, right? Can you agree with that? No.
If Ronaldo does well, conversely, the team does well.
Okay. Because I feel like this is what I'm feeling. I feel like
Mhm.
Ronaldo at the moment, right? He realized probably that United is not going to have Champions League football, and the team that is being built is probably a building scheme for at least this season. You can't
Mhm.
expect any trophies or anything, and he's not getting any younger. So he's now thinking, man, I need to look for a team that like is already on it. I remember
Yep.
last episode we discussed on where to go, and some of the options that are there are Champions League proven teams, and they're all fighting for honors. But United at the moment, even looking at the signings they haven't or are considering making, it might not be in Ronaldo's 37-year-old wage. Of thinking. So he's thinking, man, I need to exit as soon as I can because I'm not getting any younger. I can't wait for like a whole season for it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's my take on it. When it comes to the family thing, I honestly don't know. Maybe you might be right on that one, but I did hear United fans uh, being upset that okay, you're using the family card, yet you are seen at the Portugal training grounds. You know what I mean? Like it didn't bode well with them. But I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just my
Yeah,
take
I
on
can
it is
see it.
just
I can see that.
yeah,
I can see
yeah.
that.
My take
I
is
can see that.
just Ronaldo needs the silverware. He's not getting any younger. Um, if he can move to a Premier League, Champions League team that is fighting for honors. And as bad as it sounds, Chelsea is would be the perfect fit for him. But I'm not saying that he's going to do it at Chelsea. He's going to move to Chelsea because that would be such an awkward signing to even see Man United accepting Chelsea's offer. So yeah, it is what it is.
But you see, for me, when I think of Chelsea, yes, they're in the Champions League,
Yep.
but we all know Ronaldo wants to win. Is
Absolutely,
Chelsea actually
absolutely.
going to challenge though? Would you go
It's
from Man
yeah,
United to
not
Chelsea?
really. Not really.
So
Not really.
the reports are there.
Maybe for Champions
Um,
League.
mhm.
Maybe for Champions League. Yeah.
I honestly, I just really don't know if I would go to
Yeah.
Chelsea at the moment. I don't see the point.
Yeah,
No,
there's no
see,
structure there. You're right.
that's
You're right.
an awful thing for me to say. Like I do see the point in Chelsea. They are a top. Well, they are a top. They are a top squad.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but from a winning perspective, he's not going to win the league at Chelsea this year
Absolutely not.
anyway. Can they
Yeah,
win the Champions League? Y- yes, they could.
probably. Yeah.
But having lost Rudiger, are they really in a position right now to challenge? Like they've been looking at Ake, they've been looking at Delit, they've been looking at um oh the guy from Napoli, what's his name? Um
Koulibaly.
yeah, they've been looking at Koulibaly as well.
Yeah,
Um I just don't know. Is it possible? I don't know. They need to
probably not.
replace yeah, it's one of those things. I just don't know if they're in a position right now to challenge for the Champions League. I guess the one thing that you have said to me before previously when we were talking is that when you're playing in the Champions League, it's about making the knockout competition. And in the new year, once everyone's bedded in and settled and your team is actually running properly, potentially, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Come January, February, once the knockout competition starts and they have that new defender and he's bedded in and everything's ticking along, they could make that
Exactly.
final push. Yeah, interesting. I hadn't
Exactly.
actually given it much credence at all.
Yeah. But
Hadn't
the
given it much
question
credence.
is, though, will Man United allow that? That's the question.
For a player like him who has given so much to your club previously and has won everything there is to win for you,
Yeah.
who's come to your club to try push you forward instead of signing for Manchester City, where
Yeah.
he would have walked and won the Premier League last year. If
Yeah.
Ronaldo was in that team with his experience helping marshal that team, they probably would have beat Madrid. He would not have been overawed playing in the Bernabeu. So I honestly do think that he's chosen the harder avenue.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that was due solely to the love that he has for that club. So why would you want to punish him and prove a point with him of all people when he did not need to come back?
Yeah. I love your perspective because it's like thinking what's Ronaldo thinking? Because my
Yeah,
perspective is so dark in the sense of like it's like the opposition thinking of what Ronaldo's thinking.
yeah,
Because in my mind, I'm like, um, the only reason why he came back to Man United is because he was looking at them. They got second, right, in that season. And then
hmm
he was just thinking, oh, wow, they just need a hero to push them a little bit over and they'll win the league. And he's like, ah, for sure, let's go to United and do that. And then everything bombed last season. And it's like, oh, man, I need to leave this place. So it's actually pretty interesting. It's actually pretty interesting how you can have 2 point of views and see it differently. But that's amazing. I
yeah.
could be wrong. You could be wrong. Who knows? Yeah.
Oh, mate, we both could be wrong. Who knows? But as I said, I do believe that sentiment does come into play, no matter who you
It
are at the
does.
moment.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
unless your name's Michael Owen. Um,
Oh, jeez, man. Yeah, that guy is dirty, man.
oh, mate, he played for that lot, eh? Um, but no, I digress. Like on a serious
Yeah.
note,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, as you said, I might be wrong, you might be right. Who knows?
Yeah.
I
True.
just
Yeah.
honestly do believe that Ronaldo did come back for the right reasons, and I do believe that he came back to United to actually give him a bit of help.
Yeah.
And
True.
I think he chose them over City because of the love that he has for that team.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Well, I think that that's the end of our football focus for this chat for this week. It's been a hard week talking about United and actually being positive about him instead of trying to take the
Yep.
piss and laugh at him. But
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you very much for your time, brother. Much appreciated. And
Thank you, Chappy.
not a problem, mate.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you for listening, and remember to follow and give us a 5-star review if you're listening to us on Spotify, and to share it to your socials as well. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and like our videos. And that's it, mate.
Peace.